Alright, so I'll be back testing gold on a 5-minute time frame using supply and demand until I take a losing trade. Now, the most valid way to do it is just go on a completely random time and then start backtesting from there. I believe this is 2024. Don't remember what happened this time. I'm gonna start backtesting from here until I take a losing trade. Let's see how long I can keep taking trades until I take a losing trade, because on the 5-minute, gold has some good win rate. All right, so we did have a setup right here, but it's not something I'd look for. Oh, let me just change these colors real quick. Oh, no, that's too bad. That's about good. Yeah, so wait, let me just change these. Yeah, so we had this zone, but we're just not really in trends. Now on the 5-minute, the trend doesn't really matter, but in this case, we're really bearish and I wouldn't want to take in the buy here. Now again, I'm going to do 1 to 2s every single trade. Now, I do have a little bit of more specific rules on live, but I don't want to go too in-depth in that. I just want to teach you the strategy, give you ideas on what kind of trades I look for in the 5-minute and what trades I don't look for. So I go 1 to 2s every single trade, but this trade I will be avoiding just because we're not really in trends. Good reaction, but it's just not really in trend. I'll still put my position out, see how this trade plays out. Just like this. And a 1 to 2, so I have a stop loss just at the wick right here, enter on the close entry and just target a 1 to 2 just like this. Yeah, that's exactly the reason why I decided to not take this trade, so I managed to avoid a loss right here. All right, so we reached this supply. I was a bit too fast, but this supply is not that bad. The only bad thing about this is this supply is part of this straight move. Now I liked my zones to be part of either moves like this or moves, well, this is a good type of zone, but this is the best type of zone where you have been consolidating for a while and then you have a massive push up, and right before that push up you have your demand just like this. Same thing for the supply zone example as well. You have a massive push down and then your supply zone is right here. Yeah, but in this case it's just part of a completely straight move, so it isn't ideal, but the trend is really in our favor and it could potentially get a good trade right here. But I'm gonna avoid it now since I saw this trade already play out. It's given 3 bearish momentum candles, so I pretty much already see it as a win, and I want to make this backtesting session as legit as possible, so I will be avoiding this, but I'll still put my position out. So yeah, this could have been a flip entry depending on what the 1 hour did, because this was just on a new 1 hour open on at 6. But let's say we did take a flip, we had a stop loss, tight stop loss just like this, and went for 1 to 2, that would have been hit right here. But I did not take this trade, so I will be not counting it. Now also we did have a zone here, but this is also not something I'd look for just because liquidity is just not really that valid for me here. It's just one candle, no clear structure and no fake out as well. So it did give a good reaction and I think it might have won off the zone as well, but I'm not too sure. Let me check real quick. And a 1 to 2 was not here, but it would have been a break even probably. So that's just a bit unfortunate, but I did not decide to take this trade anyway because it's not really valid for me. All right, so I believe we came to this zone. I'm not too sure if it gave a good reaction. So yeah, if some of you guys don't know, I do not use accuracy zones on gold or even Nasdaq, so just letting you know. But this is now I wouldn't say it's my kind of trade. I don't like taking big structured trades like this, especially if it gives bullish structure here as well, and especially if it's not A+. But since I'm doing this video, I'm going to take this trade. We are really bearish overall, but it isn't that nice of a trade just because gold is usually a bullish instrument. And again, I don't really like big structure trades. Liquidity is a bit too far and the movement down up to the zone is not really that good as well. This here is great, but this here it creates some bullish structure. But I'll still consider it just like this and a 1 to 2. Now, I'm definitely not taking this live. Not worth it. Pick too big stop loss, too big structure trades. But I want to give you the most information you can from this video so you can potentially learn to, backtest yourself and see how gold works. So let's see on how this trade plays out. So it gave another reaction, came to the zone, and then pushed up. I'll be probably break even at this point because we already came up. We had a reaction. If you come up again, then we probably won't hold. So this was nice, and yeah, it was a break-even trade. Let's see if we win. So yeah, it came up, break even, and then it won off the zone. So this was a first break-even trade. It's not considered as a loss, obviously, so I'll keep backtesting. And it obviously depends on the trade as well, but for me personally, I would close it just because, first of all, a new 1 hour opens. So if you are like for me, I'm more like a not aggressive trader on the 5 minute because my main time frame is the 30 minute, and 5 minute is just for extra profits. But as you can see, for most of it's really okay to hold this because the only thing happened is the new 1 hour opens, it created an upper wick and then it pushed down, which is really really potential to expect this here. But just for me, I will be a bit more careful on this, but it's totally valid to just hold this through as well. Now we had a small setup right here, but it's not something I'll look for again because it's not that clean. It doesn't really have some clear liquidity. It's more for like normal supply and demand traders. And again, this trade wouldn't have won unless I took a break of candle here, which would have been too risky for me because a new 4 hour opens and it's just not that good of a trade. But if you did an aggressive trader and take this for a 1 to 2, would have been totally valid, but just not something I'd look for. Alright, so we have reached this demand all the way back over here, and we haven't given a bullish reaction, but let's see if we do. We gave a very small bullish reaction. I'm gonna go one more candle to see because I would definitely not even enter on this, and looking at the structure of the trade, I might not even enter on this anyways, but let's just see on the next candle we give. So that would have been pretty good to enter from here. Now it would have been a break of candle right here, stop loss just like this, and a 1 to 2. So the reasoning I do not like this trade is, again, this zone is part of a straight move and you got to be more strict with that on the 5 minute. Secondly, this is big structure trade, but it is nice structure trade. You have massive liquidity, clean movement to the zone, and you can especially expect a retracement even if it's a small one. But we failed to break highs and we came down with some bearish structure, and overall we are bearish as well. But I still believe this trade could win just because if you look just here, we created a massive move and then we had a small retracement, and these small retracements, as you can see here, could potentially hit our 1 to 2 level and then they could do whatever we want. But right now I'm just not going to consider it just because all the other factors, but it could still win. Let's just see. Yep, so I guess I avoided a loss here, so I'm just gonna leave it here, but I did not take this, so I'll continue the video. I'll end the video once I actually take a valid loss that I actually wanted to take, and then I'll end the video there. But that might be a while because 5 minute could actually give some insane win rates sometimes, but let's see what happens. I haven't backtested 2024 before, so let's just see and continue. Alright, I believe I missed a trade, but we had a trade right here, I believe. Now I thought this was already tapped by this candle, but if I look closely, this did actually tap the zone as well and give a reaction. I was looking at this supply as well, but this supply isn't really valid, doesn't really have valid liquidity. But this one was here, this one was a clean win. I would have probably taken this, but since I missed it, I'm not going to put it in consideration. If you're watching this video to this point, I can just talk about my free Discord and my paid community while I'm backtesting. So if you want to learn the strategy more, you can join the free community, learn a bit from there. But if you want to get really advanced into the strategy, then you can obviously join the VIP Discord as well, where I share like signals, webinars, free trading journals as well, where I'll personally look over your trades, backtesting, all that as well, Q&A sessions. So if you're interested in that, just a link in the description. But I've obviously got a free Discord as well, so you choose what's best for you. Now, we do have this supply here as well, but this is extremely not clean because just the movement, and obviously the most important one is liquidity. So I'm not going to consider this, but I'll just see how this trade plays out. So, yep, exactly. Just lost like that, and I did not consider it again. So I'm pretty good at avoiding losses so far. But talking about supplies, we just got a demand, and this is just disrespected that supply and then came down to the zone. But again, this is not really a strong reaction. Let's see on the next candle. Yep, well, I would have not taken this anyway. I mean, it's a bit too late. I mean, I obviously trade from 8 to 3 p.m. UK time. That's when I trade, but this is too late. But I'm still backtesting like all day, just for you guys to see which sessions are the best. But usually I'd never trade this late, and it was just a new 1 hour open, a new 15-minute open, and it just went down without creating an upper wick. So this was another loss I avoided. It's been pretty dead. Haven't really gotten any wins yet. Well, we did a few, but I managed to miss them because I wasn't really focused. But hopefully we can start picking up some good trades and hopefully some wins as well. Since I do trade about like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs on the 5-minute time frame. So I usually do go for only A+ setup. So I would avoid trades like this, avoid trades like this, avoid trades like this on the live markets, and avoid trades like this, because since it's on the 5-minute, it's different than the 30-minute time frame. But on the 5-minute time frame, you got so many opportunities every single day, so you might as well just go for those A+ setups and avoid taking like B setups and avoid taking a lot of losses. So I like to have a high win rate, definitely on the 5-minute time frame. And you should probably do the same thing, to not have like one pair and just trade one pair like just gold. I mean, some people do that, yes, but it just gives you more urgency to take every single trade because you do not get that many opportunities. But you still have like, if you have like 7 pairs, then you have so many opportunities to choose the perfect setups, and you might have such a higher win rate, and it's better on psychology. But obviously I'm not giving some financial advice. It's obviously your decision. If you want to trade one pair and just wait for those A+ setups, it might take longer, or you want to take every single trade. Obviously depends on your strategy as well, but if you're trading the strategy I use, then that's what I do, and I think that's best for everyone as well. And I backtest the other pairs. They've been really good if you just wait for those A+ setups, and then you can potentially have a very good win rate and a good decent risk to reward as well. So we had a supply zone right here, just this one right here. It's really like difficult to see. It's not really that good as well. It doesn't really have some good liquidity, but it is still valid, but it's not something I'd look for. We are really bearish, which is good, but it's not really I'd look for. Let's see how this trade plays out. Let's say we entered on the break of candle right here, just like this, and a 1 to 2. But like I said again, I'm not interested in this. And it did hit out take profit as well, so that's nice. Really good in trends, but just not that good liquidity as well. And obviously it would have been a bit too risky to enter break of candle here. Of course, it's very small bullish candle as well, but you could have waited for the next candle's upper wick, or you could have just entered on the close as well. This was like a new 1 hour open, like somewhere about here, went up, and then this could have been really good. Like if I see it live and this is a new 1 hour candle and it went up without creating a lower wick, I would take this trade. But since I did not know how this trade played live, I do not know, because if you see here, this is right at 10 a.m. So it opens a new 1 hour candle, maybe a new 2 hour, maybe a new 3 hour, I don't know. It opens a new 1 hour and 2 hour, for example, and went up without just creating this very small lower wick. So it probably wants to come back down and make a bigger lower wick. So if it does that, it taps our zone, gives a very good hammer candle, hammer or inverse hammer, I don't know what they're called, and then you could have potentially targeted like this right here to create that lower wick for a 1 to 2 obviously. But yeah, this would have been really nice. But again, since I said I don't know how this trade played out live, so I will not consider it. I want to be legit as possible in this backtesting session. We gave a setup right here as well, this supply zone, but like I said, like I've been saying, I'm not interested in this. It's not that bad, I'm going to be honest. It had the decent retracements, and we are really bearish, but these past retracements have been bigger, so you can potentially see a bigger retracement. Again, we don't really have like nice structure to the zone, and obviously it would have been not worth it. I mean, if you look at just here, you would target a 1 to 2 would be pretty far away as well. Basically at this demand right here. Now let's see how this trade played out, but I'm not interested in this. Managed to avoid another loss here again. But still haven't taken any wins though, so doesn't matter how many losses I've avoided, I'm still at 0. We came to this supply and then we reacted from that, which is exactly why I actually called as well, is that we didn't have enough of a retracement, so we could potentially see a bigger retracement before moving down, and that's exactly what we did. If you look just here, this is pretty much the exact move what it made here. So we have high potential to move bearish from here again, just to make the identical move that we made just right here as well. So pretty much called that, but I would not take this supply anyway. It's not that clean, but pretty much I was right. Good retracement right here, and then move bearish. Now this is technically kind of valid, but this is definitely not a trade I'd look for. But I guess it did kind of win. Now the reason it's valid is because this here is your actual liquidity, which had a fake out, very small fake out, so this is pretty much valid. And then you had a liquidity here which failed to break the high, this high, and then you had a mini small liquidity here which is not valid but still kind of took out the high. Very confusing, but it's still not something I'll look for. But this is the main liquidity, this is the valid liquidity. It swept that liquidity, already made the move, so we don't have any more potential to make another move, but in this case it did, and I believe it won off the zone. But I will not take that trade as well, just waiting for those A+ setups, and that's about it. Now since I'm only backtesting one pair on one single time frame, I won't really have a lot of trades. Again, like I said, I trade 7 pairs on the 5-minute to get like maximum trades, like maximum A+ trades, and I still don't even take trades every single day. Imagine you have 7 5 pair trades. Yo, fuck. You have 7 5-minute pair. You have 7 5-minute. Fuck's sake, I can't even talk, man. I got 7 pairs on the 5-minute time frame, and I have about 7 pairs on the 30-minute time frame, and I still don't get trades every single day. Now you might imagine, like, people who don't trade this strategy, you might think like, what is, it's not even possible, like 15 pairs and I still don't take trades every single day, and maybe not even a whole week. Like, I'm just only going for those A+ setups and just hoping to get like the maximum risk reward and the maximum high win rate. Let me just fix my camera, and I'm gonna continue backtesting until I take a losing trade. Been recording for a while, but again, like I said, backtesting until I take a valid loss. Yeah, the demands here, but that is really bad. Zone is completely part of straight move. Liquidity is decent. Then it took out the high, then it made another liquidity, and then it failed to break the high, then it made another swing low, and then it failed to break the high, and then it came down. So nothing clean, and we're still pretty much bearish. Let's see how this trade played out, but it's not something I'd consider. So I believe that's another loss I avoided. Let me quickly check. Let's say we enter on the close right here, have a stop loss right here. Yeah, this definitely would have been a trade I would have like lost on if I were to take it, but I did not take it. Probably could have gone like break even at a 1-to-1, but that wasn't even hit as well. So I mean, I would have definitely gone break even anyway, because look at this consolidation. So yeah, avoided another loss there. So I believe we came to this supply and reacted from this, but I didn't, yeah, we did, I think. But liquidity is a bit too far in this case, so it's not something I'd look for again. And I believe this lost as well. Yep, this lost as well. Oh well, I mean, it came to this zone and then it won off that, and then it had a fake out from this, so that's just a bit funny. Traders who entered on this got used as liquidity for the top zone right here. So yeah, it won off that zone, but it's not something I'll look for again. Liquidity is one kind of liquidity and it is valid, but it's just very small liquidity. It's just not, yeah, it's just not something I'll look for. It's valid, but it's not that good of a grade of a trade. All right, I think we just tapped this supply right here, and we did not close inside the box. Had a good reaction. All we needed is a bearish close, just like this. That's clean. Have a break of candle entry right here, stop loss right here, and that is a clean trade I would look for. Well, it's not the best in terms of this, really bearish. So I mean, it is good, but it's just I'm looking for a bigger retracement soon. But let's see what happens here. This is clean in terms of where the zone is, good reaction, good liquidity. Targeting just a 1 to 2 right here, and break of candle, and let's see how this trade plays out. So it managed to come up and close inside the box, so that would have been pretty unfortunate. And they opened a new 1 hour open. It made a bottom wick and without creating an upper wick, so I would have been break even at this point, like at least somewhere over here, just because. Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, exactly what I thought would happen. So let me try to explain this a bit more in depth. So if you look just here, we entered right here before a new London open session. All right, this here opened a new London open and a new 1 hour open, and as you can see here, it went straight down without having to create an upper wick. Okay, it made a very small upper wick, but that's not enough. It made a very small upper wick and went straight down, and then it started to react going back up, like reacting from whatever this area is, and then it went all the way up. And then what I could expect now is a very strong bullish candle up without having to create any lower wick, and that's exactly what actually happened here. It went up without creating any lower wick, and then it probably stopped you out, obviously, because it's a new 1 hour open, a new London session open, and then I think it stopped you out, and then it goes in our direction. Well, that is some crazy prediction, exactly what I just called out. And yeah, so I managed to take this trade as break even as well. So haven't had any wins, but this is a break even trade right here. I mean, since you're watching this video so far, I want to show you guys, because I haven't done this before, what's actually provided in the VIP Discord. Now, I'm not going to go over anything in depth. I just want to make it real quickly, just to show you guys what you actually get in this. Now, again, I will be updating this shit very much, depending on what the people in here want. But as you can see, this is all I provide in here. And this isn't everything. I have a lot of things on my WAP as well, like all the videos I posted there. So you can watch them on subtitles, all that, very perfect. So this was just a quick introduction to this VIP. If you want to join, then again, link in description. But let's continue with the backtesting now. We came to this supply right here. Now I managed to miss this, but this would have been something I'd look for, because big structure trades, I mean, I've been taking big structure trades before, but in this case, liquidity is a bit far, bullish structure to the zone, and most importantly, this is just before a new 4 hour, like 30 minutes after a new 4 hour open, which hasn't even really done anything. It just went up and then created a lower wick as well, so just nothing really special here. And also we created a new 30-minute candle opening right as we tapped the zone, and what it did, it created an upper wick and then it went right down. So this is a really important thing as well that most people don't even talk about on the 5-minute time frame. But I'm going to give you this free source in this video, that you have to be really careful on the higher like time frame candles. Like I added just recently the 2 hour, the 3 hour here as well, because I've really gone in depth with this, and I've got a lot of like new things on the 5-minute, so I have been avoiding a lot of new losses recently. But I just peeped that you have this supply zone right here as well, which it went off after giving a fake out from this zone, and then I guess it went off this zone. Now this zone is actually cleaner. It is still big structure trade, but in this case you have very good liquidity as well. I mean, let's see if this actually won. Let's say we took a flip entry right here. Now, if you took a flip, you would have won. But if you took a break of candle, for example, you probably would have gone break even, but it would have not hit your TP anyway. But since I did miss this, I'm not going to consider it. But I might have even actually taken this trade, because this liquidity is insane. Then you had a fake out for this zone, and then it came up with creating a new 30-minute candle, made an upper wick, and then you can expect a small lower wick before going up as well. So that's just perfect. But again, I missed this trade. I did not see it. So like I said, I'm being totally legit with this backtesting session, so I'm not going to consider it right now, but it might have been a trade I would have taken. Talking about supply zones here, we got another zone right here, but I'm not too sure if it tapped. Yeah, I believe this did not tap. It came really close, but it did not tap. Yeah, as you can see, let me just zoom in a bit more. Yeah, it did not tap, so that's a bit unfortunate, but it wouldn't have been a trade I would have taken anyway. It doesn't really have clean structure, like clean liquidity structure, but anyways, this is a bit too much of a structure trade. It's too big. This one is good structure trade. This one is a bit like okay as well. This one is too much, and this one is like fuck no, that's too much. So yeah, would have not taken that trade because it didn't tap obviously, but I did miss this trade. So let's just continue backtesting and see if we potentially finally get an actual win as well, because like I said, this video is backtesting until I take a loss, but I think I should be backtesting until I take a win, because it has been dead for a while now. And that's actually the characteristics of gold as well. Sometimes it could give you a lot of setups, and then sometimes it could be dead for a while. So like I said, again, I chose pretty much a random time, so that's obviously my fault, but hopefully we can start picking up some trades and start getting some wins and start getting some good content out there. We had a very small trade right here. If you look just here, now this is not clean at all. Wait, oh never mind. No, it is still valid actually. I thought this was the demand, but because I didn't see this bearish candle here, but this is still valid. Basically it is valid, but goddamn, this is very shit. It took out the high by a very small amount, very small structure trade. I mean, this is too small. This might be too big, but this is too small, so I won't be looking at that either. But yeah, it's an okay trade, it's valid, but definitely will not look at that. Talking about other trades, I think we did actually, nope, never mind, we did not. I thought we tapped this demand, but we came pretty close, but we did not tap it. Okay, now we did tap it, I think. Yeah, now we tap this demand, and this might be our first loss. I mean, actually maybe not, because no, never mind. I would not enter on this trade just because this is a very small bullish candle. All right, listen closely now, because I'm going to try to explain why I would have avoided this loss, because it is a clean trade. I mean, not the best, but it is still a clean trade. Now, the reason I would have avoided this trade is because your stop loss is really, really small. As you can see, it's really small, and it just opened a new 30-minute candle. So you would have entered right here, 725, and then it opened a new 30-minute candle, and this stop loss is not enough for the 30-minute to make a lower wick. So you can expect price to at least come all the way down here for it to want to go up. So if it wants to go up right now, it could, because it already made that lower wick. Okay, maybe it doesn't want to go up, but still, it opened a new 30-minute candle. It already made an upper wick, which is like completely valid. If it went straight down without creating an upper wick, then you could potentially go bullish after stopping us out. But here, in this case, it did make an upper wick, and then it went straight down. So that's the reason I would have avoided this loss. Now, maybe this video isn't the best video for backtesting and, I don't know, giving like good proof of the strategy, but you can still see that I know what I'm doing, that I'm showing you guys how many losses I've actually avoided. Like this loss I avoided, this is break even, which I avoided like as a loss. This was I didn't take. I mean, I mostly deleted them, but you watch this video, I managed to avoid that loss, I believe. Yeah, I managed to miss this, but I was a bit too careful. And did we take this? Wait, did we take? I'm not too sure. I don't even remember. I think I managed to miss this win. Managed to miss this loss as well, but maybe we didn't even take this. I'm not too sure. You can just go back and see it, because I don't fucking remember. But let's just keep backtesting. Let's see if we actually start to get wins. But I think this video is still good in terms of like information, because you have seen how many trades I've actually avoided and the reason behind this. Because like I said, I basically gave a new rule in this video as well, that You can add these 2-hour and 3-hour as well. They're pretty important to see if a new 2-hour or 1 hour is going to open and create that upper wick before going in your direction, because I backtested it and I checked it and I forward testing it, and it is actually really important to check these as well. In terms of trades, I think, nope, we did not tap that supply. This trade is basically valid, but basically not. I mean, actually it's not that valid. The reason is because I thought this candle here was a decent one candle liquidity with a very stupid kind of fake out, but it's just very small. Like, this one candle liquidity is very small itself, and this reaction is very small itself. So I doubt that normal supply and demand traders would have entered on this. So not really valid, but I guess it's still one off the trade, one off the zone. I mean, maybe because if you would have entered right here or right here, but definitely a trade I would not take, and probably a trade you wouldn't even take either. Now, this trade might have been valid. I don't know how this trade played out live, but you can see that I went up and maybe gave a like break of candle entry right here. So this trade would have maybe been a trade I would have taken. It's at a normal time, just opened a new 50-minute candle, created a lower wick, and then went up. But again, I'm not too sure about this. I don't know how this trade played out live. Most likely it did not create that break of candle like first or like secondly, whatever. Okay, a bit confusing, but I'm just gonna avoid this. If it did actually give a bullish close and give an actual valid entry, I would have taken this trade, and if it did actually lose, then it would have been a valid loss as well. But in this case, it did not give a bullish close, and I don't know how this trade actually played out live. Alright, so we gave a trade right here. Isn't the cleanest because this zone is a very small bearish candle, but it did have some good liquidity. But again, this is what I don't like at all, that it came down, it swept this liquidity and then gave a fake out and then came down to the zone. So it's not really like really good. In terms of structure, it's okay if it came down straight like this without sweeping liquidity before. And again, we have so many wicks inside the zone, this wick, this wick, this wick. So a lot of flaws about this trade, and we're extremely bullish, and we could potentially see a retracement like this instead of like this. And we are at the top of this move as well. So it is a clean trade, but you know what? I'm going to avoid this loss. I'm going to avoid this trade. So let's see what happens. Now, this trade has a higher probability of winning because it's still a clean trade, but I do not want to take a loss right now. So I'm going to avoid this. Let's see what happens. And I was right again. I avoided another loss. Pretty proud of myself, I can't lie. Okay, we had another trade right here. I managed to go a bit too fast, but this would have been a trade I would have avoided as well. Again, a new 30-minute candle just opened up, and it's a bit late in the day as well. But as you can see, it's a very tight stop loss, and a new 30-minute candle opened up. Oh shit! Stop! Wait. It's not that like tight stop loss, but it's still like, you know, it doesn't have enough room for a new 30-minute candle. Otherwise, it's not that bad. It has just all you need, just 2 candle liquidity. I would have liked to have a better Baker structure than just one bullish candle, but it's still valid. Obviously, you could have gone for a flip entry as well, but I mean, it is a valid flip, I can't lie, because I might have taken a flip. I don't know how this trade play out live. Again, I can't really analyze it like that. But if it did flip, if it did like this, so let's say the new 30-minute candle would open up and it went straight down, and then it flipped without creating an upper wick, it would have been valid. But in this case, I don't know what happens, and then the next candle stopped you out, and yeah, that's just a bit unfortunate. Actually, a 1 to 2, yeah, a 1 to 2 was actually even hit as well, which is insane. If you look just like this, wait, no, yeah, a 1 to 2 was actually hit. I don't know which direction it went first, but a 1 to 2 was actually hit. So this would have been a win if it did actually go down first, create a lower wick, and then go up. I would have entered on the flip here, and then this TP would have actually been hit for a 1 to 2 as well. So that would have been a totally valid trade, but in this case, I don't know how this trade played out live, so I'm just gonna ignore this right here. I think we had a zone right here, just like this. Yep, that's okay. Now, the biggest flaw about this is that this zone is completely part of a straight move, just like this. And it already closed inside the zone. But, I mean, obviously this happened after the entry, just like this. But again, it's not not even that bad. This might actually be our first, like, valid loss. I mean, we came to this top move. I mean, I've been talking about these top moves because we do like to react from these areas before breaking the actual high. We opened a new 50-minute candle, a new 1-hour candle, went straight down. It's not that bad. This part, like, I don't like where the zone is part, but it's not even that bad of a trade. Wait, it actually might have even closed. Okay, this is a really sketchy place right now because we closed on the edge, like on the 30-minute time frame. This is like okay, kind of, but on the 5-minute I haven't even backtested it, so I don't really know, because I haven't really seen this happen before, that it literally closes on the edge like that. But since this video is already about 1 hour long itself, let's see, we entered on the flip, for example, and we went for a 1 to 2. Well, I don't know how this trade played out. Like, I already saw 2 bearish candles, so and closing inside the zone, so most likely this trade would lose, but let's see what happens here. Oh, well, I would have been break even at this point, so I mean, I guess I won't be ending the video because it did actually win. So I guess that's pretty nice. I guess I can't lie. So yeah, I mean, holy shit. I guess so, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll just keep backtesting. I guess I thought this was actually going to lose, but I guess it was a trade I did take, and I guess it was a trade I actually closed break even as well. So I mean, a 1 to 2 was here, but it wouldn't have been it would have been a trade I would have closed break even definitely, just because we closed inside the box like 1 to about 1,000 times anyways. And we were making massive wicks, a lot of volatility, and we opened a new 30-minute candle without like making a massive lower wick as well. So I would have probably closed break even at this, but it's still a trade that won. So I guess I've been avoiding losses and been taking winners, but I've just been closing break even. So I might have to look into it, since I haven't really backtested the 5-minute that much because I'm pretty good at it anyways. But yeah, I might have to look into it because I missed about 3 wins just because I closed a bit too early, like for break even. For example, I would have gone break even at this point, but maybe sometimes it's good, maybe sometimes it's bad, but in this case it was bad. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk about this trade too much, you might get bored, but I guess that was another W. I mean, another break even so-called W, but at least it wasn't a loss. So I'll keep back to this. I'm actually getting pretty hungry, so I hope I won't be sitting here for hours because I want to go make some food. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll be backtesting until I take a losing trade. So far, so good. I'm not even too sure if a lot of people are going to watch this far, because most people's attention is completely shit. But for all the people who are still watching at this point, I mean, good shit. At least you're serious about trading and serious about learning. Talking about trades again, we do have this demand, but yeah, I'm gonna say off the bat, I mean, you can already tell, I believe, if you look at this trade, tell me, okay, I'm gonna pause the video right now and tell me what's wrong with this trade, and then you think about it, and then I'll tell you exactly the same thing. All right, so the thing that's wrong about this trade, I believe that you said the direction to the zone for here is not really good. Liquidity is not big structure enough. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you said the same things, because if you look just here, you failed to break the high, made another high, failed to break the high, and then potentially you can make this right here. Let's see what happens. Well, yeah, I guess it went off the zone. It didn't do that. I mean, it did kind of do that, but it didn't take out the low. But yeah, it did actually win off the zone. But maybe you said the same thing, maybe not, that the direction down to the zone wasn't the best. Good reaction though, that is good, I can't lie, but it's just not really that good as well. And we opened a new 30-minute candle. Wait, in this case, it's really nice because we opened the new 30-minute candle, went up, went fully down, created a lower wick, and then completely hammered the shit out of this zone, and then just went up. So it would have been a good trade to take, but it probably wouldn't have been my style. We actually gave a clean zone right here. Now this off the bat, I would say I'll be taking this. It's really clean. We had a decent retracement, and then we created a low. That low is our zone. We had a massive fair value gap. We have not the best liquidity and not the best movement right here, but it's still really nice. You would have entered on the close. Flip entry in this case is a bit too risky. Well, actually a new 1 hour opens, so it might have been good. Now this next candle really isn't that good at all, so this could lose and this might be the end of this video. And also a new 1 hour open, so I don't know how this trade played out, but let's say it's played out nice on live. Again, like I said, I don't know exactly how this trade played out live, like how the new 1 hour open formed, how the new 1 hour opens formed. Yeah, I said it right. So let's see what happens on this trade. Go for a 1 to 2. Oh, 1 to 2 was actually hit as well. I mean, technically a 1 to 2 was it. Are we gonna consider this as TP here? Now with spreads, probably yeah. Actually, let me do it really correctly. I mean, obviously on your MetaTrader or your trade locker or whatever you trade with, probably would have not been hit. I mean, it depends if you entered right here, we entered right here, or you entered right here. It depends on your spreads. If your stop loss was right here, and whatever. But let's see how this trade plays out. Enough talking. Let's see how this trade plays out. Okay, I mean, TP was it. So I believe that was actually our first win. God damn it, that was our first win. Now, it wasn't unfortunately a loss. Pretty much hoping for a loss night now because pretty much want to end the video. But I guess it was our first win. It is really small if you look at it like this. I won't talk about this trade a lot, but first win, and I guess I'll just continue backtesting until I take a losing trade. We reacted from this supply all the way back down there. Now, to be honest, I'm too lazy to actually explain this trade, but I'm going to tell you guys that I'm going to avoid this, and it's not a trade I will take. If there's been any trades I've missed, just let me know in the Discord or in the comments. Talking about missing trades, I just missed a trade right here. Oh, my bad. I mean, it isn't actually the best trade. Good liquidity, good movement to the zone right here, but what it did right here isn't the best. But so we entered break of candle, stop loss like this, 1 to 2. Now, like I said again, I missed this, and I probably wouldn't have taken this. But let's see what happens on this trade. I believe it should win. Yep. Oh, never mind. Oh shit. Oh, what the fuck is going on? I guess it. Yeah, it came pretty close to TP, and then it just hit stop loss, I guess. I mean, definitely break even at this point, but a trade I wouldn't have taken. I mean, I'm not too sure, but looking at this here, I don't really like this, but gave a good reaction and all that, but I guess TP wasn't hit anyway, so it doesn't really make that big of a difference. But talking about another zone right here, it's clean. You enter, let's say you enter on a flip entry right here, stop loss just like this, and a 1 to 2. Now, in terms of, okay, this would have been break even anyway, but let's see if this trade ended up winning. Now, yes, this would have been a trade I would take in. This is clean in all areas except for what happened here again, but liquidity is really good, and then it took out the high and then came down pretty nicely. But this is not the best, but it still came down with clear movement right here and had a really good reaction with opening in the new 1 hour opening as well, and created that lower wick and then went up. But now I would have closed break even at this point. Let's see what happens. It won off again, so I've managed to miss a lot of losses, but also I have managed to win a lot of winners. So it's basically like a 50-50 right now. So I'm still up, obviously. I haven't taken any losses, and I might have taken a few wins, but still I managed to miss a lot of wins as well, not only losses. But let's just keep backtesting. So yeah, I'll look into it, and I'll let you guys know in the VIP that like this new rule I might look into it, that because I've got stopped out. Like, I'm not backtesting for only you guys. I've learned a few things inside this video as well, that a lot of times it wants to come back down and make a retracement before hitting our TP. So I might look into it. I might not go break even that early, because I haven't actually like benefited in the break evens that much inside this video, and I had missed a lot of wins because of this break even thing. But I might look into it and I'll let you guys know. So yeah. All right, we came down. Okay, let me stay up straight. All right, so we had a demand right here. This is pretty clean. Let's say you enter on the flip right here, a new 30-minute candle opened up. Like, as you can see, a lot of trades that do this have a new, like a massive reaction with a hammer candle. Open usually a new 1 hour or a new 4 hour or something like that. We did open a new 4 hour right here, and then we went down. All right, talking about this trade, nothing really else to say. This is really clean. A bit big structure trade, yes, but we do have very good liquidity. I mean, everything about it is pretty decent. We have decent retracement. We're really bullish overall. Now, in terms of, obviously, some things are really bad about this trade again, but it's still a considerable trade. Enter, go on a 1 to 2, a bit big, but let's just see what happens here. Okay, another TP here. To be honest, actually, this might have been break even again, because it did actually come all the way down over here, like a very small amount. Here, I'll flip entry, but you know what, I've been missing a lot of trades to break even, so in this case I'm going to consider this as another win. To be honest, I was hoping for a loss because yeah, I want to go make some food. But talking about losses, maybe we have another trade right here. Would have entered on the close like this. Now, talking about this trade, this isn't a trade I will take. Now, unfortunately, I kind of do want to take this just because of it might lose. Now, this is part of psychology as well. I'm not allowed to think about food right now. I'm just going to have to think about giving good information on YouTube. So I will not be taking this trade. Now, this trade might lose, but I will not be taking this trade just because we are reacting from a demand. We are still very bullish, and that's about it. Let's see how this trade played out. Yep, I managed to miss a loss here. Now, if my psychology was really bad, I'll be probably thinking that, oh, this video has been 1 hour long. I want to make some food and I want to eat. But my psychology is really good. So I managed to not take this loss, and I managed to not take that loss. Yeah. We had a very, very sketchy looking trade right here. But yeah, you can probably already tell why I would not take that trade. Also, I've been looking into this. Also, like, if we're really bullish and we had a decent retracement, I might target for a higher risk to reward, like the highs for, like, for example, like a 1 to 7 here, because I've seen this happening like a lot. If you are like not really bullish, or like for example, if you're really bearish and you take a buy, I wouldn't want to go for a high risk to reward. But for example, right here, maybe I would have targeted this gap fill like here for a 1 to 3. So I might look into it. Like I said, I'll let you guys know. All right. I went a bit too far. Okay, I went really fast. Well, I didn't actually see this, but we did actually give a pretty nice supply zone right here. We went on a break candle and a stop loss right here. Now, unfortunately, I did miss this. I went a bit too fast, but I would have taken this trade. It's nice, but like I said, I'm being totally like legit with this backtesting, so I managed to miss this, unfortunately. But this will be another win. You can see how crazy this strategy is. I mean, how long I've been backtesting for? Like a month already. I don't know how long. And I've taken 0 losses. And I've taken, I mean, I managed to miss a lot of wins, but I've also taken a lot of like actual wins as well. Like a 1 to 2 here, or 1 to 2. I mean, 1 to 2. That's already 4%. That's 6%. That's 8%, but obviously these are trades that I did not take. But let's say I didn't close break even. That's 8%. That's break even, and that's 10%, 12%. That's 12% in 6th of November. 12%, 6th November to, yeah, about 20 days, 12% on one pair. And I trade 7 pairs on the 5-minute. You can imagine how much I'm profiting. Now, obviously, this is very different to live. Obviously, like, you could even be in minus. You could have missed all these wins and taken the only loss, and you could have been in minus. So it obviously is extremely different on live trading, but in backtesting you can see how insane this strategy is. All right, we had another setup right here, supply zone. It's pretty clean, but reaction is pretty confusing. I mean, entering on a break candle here might have been a bit too risky, so I probably would have avoided this. Not because of the grade of the not because of the grade of this setup, but because of this reaction. Entering right here is just not worth it, going for 1 to 2. But if you did manage to get like a flip entry, for example, if you did give something, or a break of candle, then this would have been totally valid. And a 1 to 2 came really close. Wait, let me do it a bit more correctly. Stop loss just like right here, and a break of candle right here. Oh, right here, and a 1 to 2 it was hit by a very small amount. I mean, probably with your broker you would have not hit this, but I think it's gonna hit this anyways. Yep, there you go, it hit this anyways. So for example, if I did take this break of candle, if I managed to get in on this, but I think it might have been really hard to enter on this on a live account, but since we're only backtesting, this is another win here. I picked a pretty good time, and it was really dead at the beginning, so all the so-called unserious traders clicked off the video. So for all the serious traders who are still watching at this point, you can see a lot of wins. So talking about wins, you have another setup right here, and 1 to 2 like this. Now I'm just putting this out. I'm definitely not taking this trade. It's just not that clean. We're still very bearish. We swept liquidity and all that, but let's see what happens here. Not a trade I would take. Again, as you can see, I managed to avoid another loss. So I'm saying, like, this is a completely random time, and you've seen me, guys, avoid about more than like 5 trades at least. So, and I've taken a decent amount of wins as well. So yeah, I know what I'm doing. I've been backtesting a lot, and I've got a lot of experience. So yeah, I mean, been doing pretty good so far. We did actually have a supply zone right here, but again, that's not something I'd look for, just because, well, it's actually, wait, this actually might be our first loss, maybe, because it's not even that bad. We opened a new 4-hour right here, creating a lower wick. Okay, that's not the best. We don't actually have, no, we don't really have clean liquidity except for that one, but that's a bit too far away. And we're still extremely bearish. We don't really have anything like any good confirmation. So no, not something I'd look for, being totally honest. Now this video is getting really long, but I'm still backtesting until I take a losing trade. We actually have another setup right here, pretty clean, just like this. Now this has more confirmation of being bullish. Now I would enter just on the close right here, stop loss right here. Now this is okay, this might be a little bit sketchy, because this is not worth it for me. I believe this is like a very big reaction and a very big stop loss, but let's consider this just because we're backtesting, and this is a clean trade with decent liquidity. Not the best, like, not the zone is not part of a like really very nice move, but let's see what happens in this trade. All right, so that might have been break even, but I think this video has been enough, and I will end it here. Now, let's say this was a valid loss, but it probably wouldn't have been a valid loss, but let's just say it would have been a valid loss. So this will be the end of this video. Now, again, if you want to join the free Discord, it's in the description. And if you want to improve your trading, then the best investment you can do, if you want to get your first payout, if you want to get profitable, then join the VIP Discord. All right, see you in the next video, boys.